welcome.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Paul.
No, he sounded like Tom Lowell.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
That was like the least prepared I've heard anyone in my life.
It's okay.
Give it a second one.
The Western Cat.
No, this one's staying.
Okay.
I guess we have leftover battle mat from last session. Welcome to whatever session this is, like 32?
31.
31. Oh, yeah, we didn't record 2 last
I
time.
know, we're in the 30s now.
31
digits.
of Role Slayers podcast. Maybe the second one with video. Probably, I think.
Yes.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I like the mystery of it.
But
Yeah.
before we get into the game, let's have our daily announcements.
All right. So I'll just start off with some of the things that you're hearing right now are coming from BeyondSkyrim.org. It's a collaborative project of composers that are making really awesome high fantasy style music. Honestly, it's just really great all around, and you're listening to it right underneath this intro and all throughout our podcast. So check them out. And then also we have Sirenscape to add another dimension to our audio environment. And you can check them out at sirenscape.com. Basically, what they offer are sound effects and some mixing of music where you can kind of craft your own very specific soundscape.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about World Anvil for a second. See, at this table here, we play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Maybe you've heard of it. And if you're
I
listening,
know I have.
if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably your tabletop experience is probably usually Dungeons and Dragons, or maybe not. And maybe you have like other stuff that there's so much stuff out there, like Call of Cthulhu, Vampire the Masquerade. There's Star Wars tabletop RPGs. World Anvil, they don't just deal with this kind of stuff with fantasy settings. They have stuff that's specific to like sci-fi settings. So regardless of what type of world you're building, and I think this is something that maybe we don't acknowledge here, because we do the high fantasy Dungeons and Dragons stuff, but they can accommodate all kinds of world building there. So check them out, and check out our affiliate link at worldanvil.pxf.io/rollslayers.
And speaking of things you should check out social media, but not in a general sense. You probably know about it. And you should go check out Role Slayers on your favorite social media sites like Instagram and TikTok, where Tyler will dance on TikTok. That's a promise.
You have to do that between now and the time we release this.
Yes,
episode.
I'm a wonderful dancer.
Yeah, you should do that flossing dance. I think that's going to be the next big thing.
Yes.
It will be the next big thing. It's coming back.
Yes, it is coming again. So, and TikTok, it seems to be pretty big.
Coming.
So, also we have a political discourse Twitter. So we're going to tweet lots of, things at that and see our hot takes. And every hot take will be on our Instagram channel as well. So enjoy that. It's Role Slayers, the Role Slayers, Denton.
Hot take.
Yes.
Government censoring multiple religions in an empire-style fashion is good.
Okay, hot
We
take.
just say.
Check
get
all that out on our
podcast
World
thing
Anvil.
out of your mouth.
Okay, political hot take.
No.
No, this
Yes.
is not my political. hot
Birds
take.
aren't real, they're drones.
But I had a kid in school. I teach school. He was doing a research paper on
School.
He wanted it to be about like Greek mythology, but I was like, no, like it has to be about like some kind of social issue. And it was about the injustice of the fact that the separation of church and state, like you can't teach religion in public schools unless it's Greek mythology. Somehow, the Establishment Clause doesn't apply to Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Well,
Do with that what you
But he
will.
snuck it in. That little turd.
Yeah.
last but not least, speaking of World of Anvil being able to do different genres, Eldritch Foundry has all sorts of different genres, sort of mini customization for you, such as sci-fi or steampunk, football. So you can get 15% off with our code RoleSlayers at Eldritch Foundry. With that, let's play some D&D. Last we left off, the party descended into the city, long lost to time and nature, discovering some of its history, losing Phineas along the way to curiosity, and fighting some Gronks, eventually making their way, bit by bit, stealthily, eventually, to the bottom of the great ziggurat within the center of the city. And that's where we left off.
I believe we left off building a welcome toad. If I'm not
I
mistaken.
forgot about that.
No, Vinny tried, but didn't have enough
Do we
raw
have
material.
he didn't have
to-
enough for a big old scarecrow, but does he have enough for a small welcome toad?
I mean, he has some sticks and he has some ferns. However you want to, I mean, that's not a welcome toad, but
It's not. It's not. And I'm,
you can find more resources if you spend the time.
We
No.
probably don't need to spend
No,
any
let's
time
go ahead
on the
and-
welcome toad.
Okay.
Would you think maybe we can take a quick little breather before we go any further?
Of course, and if we're gonna take a short rest, I'm gonna help Vinny work on the welcome toad.
Okay. Are
I'm
you guys
gonna
wanting
use
to
it.
take a short rest
Yeah.
I'm going to use my arcane recovery to recover some spell slots.
from your grung fight?
Yes.
Everyone went so hard
Hard
on
on the
those
grunts,
grunts.
I know. Well, I was just itching to use a 3rd level spell because I have those now.
you obliterated that. It was
Well, but it's
but you kind
saved.
of did it. So
I mean, it's 8d6, but he halved the damage.
I used exactly the amount of power needed.
You could have taken.
thing.
You could have took out 4 grungs with your power.
So if you guys want to take a short rest to recover whatever you need to, you can. Vern, if you want to make a nature or investigation check, you may.
Here, let me tell you what I'm looking for.
Mhm.
I would like to recover some of the grung clothing. I think we may be a little too far from where we left them. I just
Oh.
now had the idea.
Well, I feel if we get the shape close enough, perhaps they will gather the point.
I do have some rope, and we can tie it to one of these sticks.
Well, perhaps if we can, kill another one, we can take its clothes and stuff it full of clothes, and then we can make the welcome toad, and then they'll know that they don't need to be afraid of us.
Right.
Exactly.
I think the blood on the welcome toad will really cement the point that we are here for peace. I'm joking. Was it a good one?
Can I guide you in your search?
Oh, of course, you're welcome to join. This was your idea.
And I touch him, and a little puff of green smoke comes off of his shoulder.
Okay. And what is your roll?
What am I rolling?
Nature or investigation?
Nature. Plus a D4. 17.
17. So Vern, first of all, expertly starts to kind of comb the area for more ferns. Finds a fair amount and finds some vines hanging off one of the buildings and starts to tie the vines around the ferns that he bunches up and starts to make into legs and arms and a body until he has a roughly grung-sized bunch of ferns that he's kind of tied up in vines and then put on a stick.
Should we give it a happy face?
Yes. Does anyone have a pen and ink?
I'll try to make a thumbs up for the gesture.
Easy enough to do.
Excellent.
Yeah, does anyone have a pen and ink? I don't have any.
I do.
I think I recovered some from that. From Grelden.
Well, I'm gonna pull out my quill, which is just enormous. It's like a 2-foot long feather in it.
Pretty sure it's like a peacock feather or
Yeah,
something.
it's a peacock feather.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's certainly something.
Well, when you have a clerical job and you're writing all day, want to write in style.
I suppose so. Did he just pull that from his trousers?
Nope, from my robe. I'm not wearing any trousers.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
It covers my legs. I'm decent.
Excellent.
it does look comfortable.
Do we know the culture of? Undergarments?
Yeah, they exist.
Let's just finish the welcome, Grung, one thing at a time.
Wait, I'm on a new thing. Okay. Excellent. That'll work splendidly. Would you mind painting on a little face?
It's kind of hard
Cyrus?
to do since it's made of ferns, but it's easy. Like,
Yeah,
you
I'll-
can make a go at it if you'd like.
I'll do my best. Should I roll something?
Sure, why not? Just make a general dexterity check.
Dexterity. Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure nothing drips.
Wait, why did I roll 2 of them? That's a 12 plus 2. 14.
So it's the difficulty is not necessarily you drawing it. You feel like you have a good handle on drawing it. The issue is it's a bunch of crumbled up fern leaves that are about, an inch, half an inch wide. So you kind of have to connect the smiley face across a bunch of different separate leaves. But you make a functional like little smiley face of ink and some eyes. And you think that maybe if someone gets, within 15 feet, they'll see a dark smear of ink face.
Does it look happy and
It looks kind of creepy because it's drawn on a bunch of leaves. But it's got a smiling grin.
Nope.
And do we have one of those hats that we're not using?
I do not. Bells, it may not look the happiest, but it is giving a friendly thumbs up indicating peace.
wonderful?
I like it.
Yeah, I think I would want to be friends with this guy. If I was a Gronk.
We don't know what they're called yet. It's a welcome toad.
If I was a
that's what it
frog
was.
man.
Yeah.
I was the frog man.
None of you have made a roll to see if you know what these things are.
You said we didn't.
You could have asked. You said no. You never asked. Like,
Okay.
do we know what these things are? Can I identify what these things are?
Can I identify with these
I
things?
just
make a nature
no.
check.
I go and pray to my. I'll go and say a little prayer to my
I guess Cyrus and
Lady
Vern
friend?
can discuss.
Faye lady friend and ask her if she'll tell me.
Make a nature check.
Yeah, I would like to help Vern.
Okay.
So we'll be kind of discussing the etymology of this.
Okay. So one of you roll at advantage then. So if you're helping, because he's also doing it. So 2 rolls max.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
I just rolled a 17.
Go
Okay.
for it. Yeah. It's on
Okay.
you.
So with advantage, that's a 22.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah, these are grungs.
We got plus 7.
They got
Nature.
poison skin and they frogs.
Okay.
So
Very
we
tribal, very reclusive.
Yeah, there's a
very rarely seen.
there's another breed of these, another strain of them in Stowhell or in the swamps. These are called Gronks. They don't taste great, but in a pinch.
you've eaten a grung.
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
a bullywug.
You said they were poisoned.
No, they're not poisonous. They're
Yeah.
not poisonous.
Yeah, they
are
have poisonous skin.
Oh, if you, some of them are. It's like mushrooms.
Oh, I see.
Some,
It
of
is
them,
for
some
the-
of them are delicious, and some of them will kill you.
Well, I'm glad I didn't touch it then. I guess we finish our rest up.
Okay. So you guys finish your scare toad and your welcome toad and finish your long rest with some of your spells recovered and your vigor restored.
A short rest or long?
Short.
Is Phineas he's not with us at this
No.
point, right?
No.
Okay.
He decided to dip.
Yeah, he's going and looking at the ruins of his own.
I would have spent my short rest just kind of in the corner drawing some of the buildings and not making a scare toad.
The welcome toad.
Bells is
Welcome
leaning
toad.
against the building with kind of like a little journal and like probably like just a stick of charcoal drawing. But eventually, kind of close it up and put it back away in your pouch, ready to go. You guys,
I guess, do we want to ascend?
Yes.
Ascend the ziggurat.
I
I'm
do
ready if
wonder
you
what's
are.
up there.
Alin, how are you feeling?
I'm doing well. We can ascend.
Let's go.
Along the way, can I look and see if there are any tracks on the ziggurat?
here, make a survival check or investigation.
15 survival.
Okay. You don't necessarily. You do 15?
Yeah.
You see a lot of old tracks. Looks like coming down from the ziggurat. Looks to be like little toad feet,
How old?
little frog feet. Fairly old.
Mm.
And like barely traces of them at this point.
Okay. I do wish they were able to speak to us.
Be nice to go to the market and see if they had anything of use. But after that last encounter, I just don't know. I think it would just end up in more slaughter.
Well, I certainly couldn't speak with them. But in any case, I guess let's go. Maybe we could go up to the first level and see if there's anything around there.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, take it level by level.
As you guys start to ascend, you get about a quarter way up the stairs to the first level when you realize you can't see the first level on the stairs as there is a giant stone snake wrapped around the ziggurat.
Seems like an unconventional and inconvenient design. Wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, does this look? Sorry. Does this look like? What is the detail? I want to know the detail of the stone snake. Is it seem fairly realistic?
You'll need to get closer up to kind of examine it, but you can spend the rest of your time going up, and then eventually get there if you don't have anything else you want to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, we got time.
Sure. Make an investigation check or maybe a nature check.
Okay, I guide myself and I do the investigation way.
Investigation will take a little more time since you're like sitting and investigating. I don't know with the guidance if that will last. It will last for a nature check.
I can do nature. I've got +7 to nature.
Can I? Cyrus, you probably know more about this than I do. I'd like to give you a little help if you wouldn't mind examining. I'm curious as to whether or not this stone snake is realistic or not. Or does it look as like it symbolizes or the semblance of something actually real?
Well, I'm looking at it. I just rolled a 21,
I mean,
you got that guidance.
and the guidance is an extra equal.
you don't need the guidance for the 21, but
It's 23.
23. I mean, looking at it, it is a fairly accurate depiction of what something serpentine might look like. Make an Arcana check for me if you'd like.
I'd like to know if it was somehow magically encased in stone or turned to stone.
I was wondering the same thing as well as a 22.
Kind of look at some of the striations and patterning, and I mean, at this point, you're almost certain that this thing has been petrified and was once real, or it was an extremely intricate carving.
So there's as part of this stone structure, there's also like a warrior that is stabbing.
Yep, stabbing
Is it
it
like-
through
I was
the
worried about
open mouth. Of
Is it how big is the warrior?
about 3/4 as tall as the ziggurat itself.
So
How
enormous.
tall is that? Like,
Yes.
The ziggurat, yeah, it's gargantuan.
Yeah, that's got to be like 30 feet tall at least.
Yeah, the ziggurat is about 80 feet tall.
oh
Okay, so
gosh.
much larger, 60 feet tall.
Yeah.
Is it a humanoid figure,
Looks
or does
to be
it look
almost human, or yeah, from this with it being stone, it looks almost human.
and the human figure also looks petrified rather than carved.
Yeah.
Whew.
It seems to me, I don't know. My assumption is, and you can confirm this, Cyrus, but it looks as if this was an actual battle frozen in time.
It does. I mean, there's so many aspects of this that are unbelievable. I mean, just looking at the size, but I have a harder time believing that this was carved just because of kind of the way the way the stone seems to be like falling away over here. It doesn't seem to be cracking in some of the normal ways. Like it looks petrified.
What
And
could have
as you-
done that?
No, sorry. As you do look down, where the sword kind of pierces through the back of the head of the snake and continues on into the ground, there are big cracks actually originating. It seems the crevices originate from where the sword went in the earth.
Okay. So just to make sure I have the picture right in my mind, because this is why I was asking whether the serpent's head was
Mhm.
up or down.
Yeah.
So the sword is piercing the head from above, going down into the ground.
Correct.
And it looks as if
Through
it
the
is
mouth?
actually
Mhm.
cracked the
And
ground.
then out the back of the head into the ground.
Out the back of the head into the ground. Okay.
And
Okay.
look, all of these canyons are coming from that sort of the ground. I think that this was some sort of deity or demi-deity that had some sort of war with its
I mean,
snake creature.
that would
Wait,
honestly that would make the most sense because I mean, look, it's 60 feet tall. It's
Alin,
10 times the size of a normal person. 10 times the size of a Len.
Mm-hmm.
but hold a moment. Alin recognized that being. Does that mean that is the actual goddess?
I don't. It seems to be a servant, but I'm not familiar enough with this justice deity to tell.
Wait, which one is the deity? The serpent or the human?
The human.
Perhaps both.
She had the symbol.
Well, the one that was the one that was associated with
Alin
justice.
identified the
The symbol
Yeah.
of Arathis was on the
The
chest
symbol.
plate of the
Yeah.
human's armor.
Yeah, it looked like it was a person with that.
So it wasn't even an ode. This was but a real thing that occurred.
Is there anything that any of you know from the history books? I mean, you spent loads of time in libraries.
Would I know anything about Arathis?
Make a religion check. If you're talking about specifically Arathis. religion.
I'm more well versed in history, which is my role play way of saying, can I roll history instead to see what I know?
Sure, it'll be different information.
Yeah. 22.
So history on Arathis specifically?
Or history on this event.
Yeah, this event, Arathis, this part of the world, is there any
Sure.
connection that I feel like I can make?
You're searching your mind, thinking about any tomes you might have come across in the library. And come to think of it, you'd never even heard of this lost city until people in the region kind of mentioned it in passing.
Okay. And Arathis, just, do I even know who that is?
Yeah, you have a common knowledge of some of the pantheon. I'll say, what was it, 22?
22.
You do have. There's only one other thing comparable in terms of raw destruction that you've kind of read about in history.
Okay.
But that was on a much larger scale than this, and that was you read about something called the Ember Spike.
The Ember Spine.
Yeah, you don't really remember much about it except that it was this cataclysmic event.
But Bell's question remains, what could have done this?
I think we're looking at it.
Well, the whole thing, though, why are they're both frozen in a moment?
Have you ever heard of anything like that happening before?
Well, I mean, there was the Ember Spike, but I really don't remember much about that. I've come across it in my reading.
Is there a chance this could be undone?
I mean,
I don't
considering
know that we want that.
yeah, I don't know that we would want that to be undone, but considering the type of power that went into this event in the first place, I would imagine it would take a comparable amount of power or a greater amount of power to undo it.
What I'm asking is there's no chance that we're going to upset this.
Oh no, we're fine.
It's been here this long, then. Mm-mm.
But do you think people often come and disturb it?
I don't think that people often come here. Except for the Gronks, they were
If
called.
anyone is disturbing it, it's the Gronks.
Which-
Hopping all around like little reptile flea things.
Now, by the by, on our way up, I did notice there are a fair amount of grung tracks going the opposite direction, so we may keep that in mind going up.
I also noticed that there's a lot of carvings of serpent people. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'd like to see if serpent people, if I can remember anything about serpent people.
Sure, you've seen these carvings as well, so
Yeah.
if both of you or one of you want to make a history or nature check, you may.
I want to try to make a history check, see if they have any.
Okay. You can either do it at advantage or, John, you can also roll.
What do you want to do, John?
I'll also roll.
Okay.
Just I know what my modifier is. So that's a 20.
Okay.
I got an 18.
18 and 20. Neither of you have heard of snake people.
Well, I mean, it seems that if they have this many carvings of the snake people, that maybe it forms some backbone to their religion or their government. And you of course know what snakes associated with the government, what that means, what you would call that.
A snake government.
Civil serpents.
He said that so straight faced. And then there was just like a brief millisecond of everyone looking at John with just this.
Trying to keep it in.
At me or at Cyrus?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's all been so serious into this point.
I was explaining
Vern is
mine.
hanging on Cyrus's every word, and then that happens. And Vern just... Oh no. Again?
I'm sorry, the opportunity was just there.
I
okay?
can't shake the vegetables out of you this time, Cyrus.
Please don't try. I have no vegetables.
I'm inclined to believe it.
Only beans.
That was brilliant. Well,
Shall we continue on?
I suppose so. See what else is above, but I'd say that when we get closer to the top, and I'm going to be watching for where grung tracks might stop,
Okay.
we ought to be extraordinarily cautious.
The grung tracks actually stop right in front of you, as there is a giant snake wrapped around the ziggurat in front of you.
Oh. I thought it was wrapped
Oh,
around
it's-
either side.
No, it is
of
around the entire ziggurat.
Oh, shoot. So
Twice.
Got it.
Oh.
So
Oh, this
it
is-
is coiled around.
Well, who feels like climbing?
If we must.
I'm happy to.
We know how to climb by now.
Can I get athletics checks from everyone?
Yes.
All right.
Can I try to... What would happen if I tried to strap
24.
Cyrus to my back?
You don't have powerful build, do you?
I think actually, yes. Let me See.
I know Goliath do, but I didn't know for
Powerful build is... Yes, I do have powerful build.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
great. Because I did not
you can
roll
just piggyback
high on
him.
athletics.
All right, I'm going to pick up Cyrus and put him on my back.
Okay, make an athletics check at... No, not even at disadvantage. You've
I
got a
can-
powerful build.
I'm a powerful build, and oh god, it's a nat 1.
Oh.
Plus 7, it's an 8.
I rolled an 8 as well.
Well, so
Excellent.
you don't have to roll if he rolled in that one, okay?
I rolled a 4.
Okay?
8.
8.
Oh, guys,
So-
what happened?
24.
Bells scampers up the side and kind of runs around the snake a little bit before
The
jumping
rest
up.
of us are just like sliding around.
Olin like gets halfway up and then the armor kind of clinks as you fall.
No.
Vinny's just like trying to figure out how to rock climb it and hasn't started really yet. And Vern,
Can I just like throw a rope over and like
sure.
give them a little boost?
They will need it. But Vern, as you're nearing the top, and you're actually going to get to the top,
Oh no.
Cyrus, you fall off the back of Vern
Oh.
and start to tumble down the stairs,
Oh my goodness.
No.
taking.
I believe it's 1d6 per
10 points.
feet.
10 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall
How many?
30 feet.
10 points.
Good night.
Yeah, falling damage is d6 per 10 feet.
Did I drop Cyrus or did Cyrus
It doesn't
fall?
cap for me either, I'll say that. So don't fall from high things.
Tyler does exponential falling damage. It's really cool.
Oh.
Super cool.
Did
This,
I
this
drop?
feels like a level of Sonic the Hedgehog where like if you run fast enough, you go just straight up like bells.
Yep.
But otherwise,
Yep.
you run and
Yep.
fall down.
Yep. Mhm.
But Cyrus, you can pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and climb up the rope. Easy enough.
Okay.
God,
After falling down the stairs.
I'm so sorry, my friend.
There's a
Are
joke in
you
there
well?
somewhere.
Bless you.
Oh, sorry, I'm busy finagling with D&D Beyond. Okay. There's a joke in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, with an older person falling downstairs.
Oh, my hip. I don't know.
I didn't mean it, a Cyrus joke, but
Yeah, there's somewhere.
And Vinny, thank you, Bells.
Oh.
I was trying to figure this thing out.
I don't know what we would have done without you. I think... Cyrus, are you okay?
I'm just fine. A little dazed.
Maybe
Got a little bit of vertigo.
Does everyone make it over?
yeah, everyone makes it over.
I would just look at everyone and say, like, are we good? Can we continue?
That wasn't our finest hour, but we have had worse.
Bell's admirable climbing. Vern, thank you for trying.
I'm so sorry. You... Hang on.
I appreciate the help.
Are you, limping or anything? What visible injuries have you taken?
I'm probably milking it for just a moment, but walking it off.
It's pretty funny. You can't actually see any physical, injuries on him because he has magic robes that don't rip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So all of his bruises and scratches are unseen.
Well, maybe next time we use the jump spell. What do you say?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm hurt, but I can't show you.
If it is,
I would
indeed
just start
your hip.
walking back. Just start
Yeah.
walking up some more.
Okay.
I follow Bells.
You eventually do find yourself to the first kind of promenade walkway around. It's about 80 feet in width, so it's about as wide as the ziggurat is tall. The first walkway. So it is kind of like a progressing sort of tower. Like the first, half is pyramid, and then it kind of gets more tower-esque, and it's finally like very tower-y. But
So the serpent and the human-ish figure, they're like up like a spire almost.
They are behind and to the right of the ziggurat as you're climbing.
So the serpent's just wrapped around it
And
and
then
then
keeps
continues
going.
on into the city.
Yeah,
And,
so the serpent's all throughout the city. It's
Okay.
very long.
yes.
And quite like thick in terms of
Is
like
it just
its body.
a serpent, like just a big
snake.
snake?
I mean, make a Arcana or History check for me.
But like just looking at it.
Looks like a big snake.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not
I'll
a
make a
koala
history check.
by chance, is it?
Right.
This isn't the thing we're looking for, is it?
Make an Arcana or History check.
My history check was 14.
Okay.
My Arcana check is 25.
Yeah, it is.
Not a koala is what you get from this, Bells.
Okay.
25?
25.
Yeah, it
Rolling.
is.
Really?
Yeah, it is. Tyler.
Right now, we've actually hit like an area where Cyrus is like he's in his element, even though he's never been here before, because he's got +7s on all these intelligence skills.
Yes, he does.
So you've read a few folios on great beasts and apocalyptic creatures from time
Okay.
to time.
Fantastic beast.
And you don't really know much because there wasn't a huge entry. But you're suspecting this might be something called the Titan Boa.
The Titan Boa.
That
It's
sounds
supposed to be a immense snake of earth-shattering capability.
Okay.
That's the only information about the
So
Titan
I don't know
Boa.
if it's like divine or
You have no idea so most of these folios of great beasts, there's not much on them because historically, if you go back past the Blackthorn Ascendancy much, history starts to get real weird. And you
Okay.
don't know what's real, what's myth, and what is just cryptic, like we just filled in the blanks.
So are you telling us that basically all he knows is that it's a big snake?
It's not from this world, I'll say that. Like, it is definitely a beast of some sort of non-material plane origin.
okay. Cool. That's more information than we had before.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know what to do with that information.
tell us.
I'm just telling you what a 25 got you.
I tell them.
Okay.
This grows stranger by the moment.
Indeed. I'm very intrigued. What should we do? Kind of feel like we're on a dead lead here.
We're climbing on the bones of a god.
Yeah, it would seem.
As you do crest the walk or the stairs and go on to the walkway, you do see the stairs do continue up, but recessed into the stairs there is a open doorway that leads presumably within the ziggurat.
Shall I sneak in? And he sneaks in. He
Just not even waiting for a response.
casts invisibility
Okay.
and then sneaks through.
At least he's
Make
trying
a stealth
to
check with advantage.
be considerate.
Cast that. And then stealth check with it.
Wait. I've seen this one. I can
And
do
then
that.
I guide myself on stealth check as well. We are at the 26.
You slip in beneath the shadow of the doorway, and it's dark, but you can make out most of what's going on
I have dark vision.
as you
That's
enter. Never gonna let that
See
go.
everything.
Never gonna let that go. You're in a kind of an entry hallway that seems to wrap around the perimeter of the ziggurat with, obviously these great slanting walls behind you that kind of meet the walls of the hallway in front of you. And then there is another hallway that leads directly straight down in front of you as well. But it is kind of the same stone. You see a lot of low-light ferns and plants that do seem to grow in here. Kind of mossy walls and crumbled stone to a degree. It does look to be quite dilapidated.
I can also make one person. Oh shoot! Can I do this? I don't know where I would have picked up that eyelash encased in gum.
No, I mean
If I haven't
Encased in what?
gum Arabic.
gum Arabic, it's just basically like.
Do you have a component pouch?
I do.
Then I'll say it's in the component pouch. It's only for gold value things that I'm gonna make you seek out.
Okay. Okay. It showed up under my pillow one day.
Yeah, I mean, I typically would assume that like if you know your spells and you know what they require, then like
You
when you're in
sort them
town, you're
Yeah.
like
Sure.
you look for those random little things that would be so tedious to
It's
roll
just
play.
been
Well,
a while
that's
since
the
I've
best
been
thing
in
about
town.
component pouches is that
Yeah.
it's like a pouch of common or semi-common components for casting. So
Yeah.
while that may be a weird thing for a normal person to buy, you can buy a component pouch and here's an eyelash in gum Arabic. Like
Yeah,
don't know when I'll ever need it, but I have it.
I take it out and put it in my mouth like a Jolly Rancher,
Oh.
and then I cast invisibility on myself. But I can also take one other person with me.
Well, you already cast it on yourself and
Yeah, okay.
not on anyone else.
Okay, that's
so you already burned the spell.
That's fine. And so I see it, and I will. You said, were there any other entrances?
Not that you can tell.
Just one big
So
platform.
well, you didn't go around. It's a four-sided thing.
Okay.
So you didn't really go around the other sides. There might be other entrances. You don't know.
I choose to investigate while
Okay.
I'm in my stealthy visibility.
So you're coming out and walking around the perimeter of the exterior.
Yes.
It takes you some time, but eventually you make the full
I would let them know too.
lap.
I know you can't see me, but I'm gonna go around and see if there's another entrance. Nothing in there though.
Okay.
Make the full lap, and there are indeed on each cardinal point of this tower entrances within.
And I would investigate the next one.
Okay, they're all the same. There's a hallway to the left and right that continues around the perimeter, and a hallway leading deeper into the ziggurat in front of you.
Go deep.
Okay. How long are you exploring this thing?
Well, I have only up to an hour, but I also feel like I have the need to get back to my friends, so not to go too far, but enough to scout a place where we could all gather safely, and then take them in so that we could reassess.
Okay. So make a perception check as you're starting to kind of journey into this.
10.
You walk down the central hallway that leads deeper in. Eventually, there are doors on either side, and as you kind of walk, you realize there are a fair amount of rooms kind of scattered throughout, all walled from floor to ceiling, with just the stone kind of doorways that you encountered in the mine. Also, could I have you make a intelligence check?
Sure.
As you're not gathering too much from this, but there are a fair amount of turns and corners that you are navigating.
It's something I can guide myself.
It's
Or not really. It's more of a
more,
passive.
it's more of a thing that's happening over time.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's not. Like,
Okay, you are lost. Kind of semi-maze-like interior starts to take you, and you forgot which turn you took.
that like typically with a low roll, you're like you give kind of a joke, like you're pretty sure that the walls are made out of stone.
Yep.
with
But no.
Tyler.
You're lost.
Good luck.
Okay.
It's been about 30 minutes at this point, and no sign of Vinny.
Vinny probably would just
Now here's a question: is do we
stay
know?
still, and if he hears anything, he would dip into the closest room next to him.
Do we know which entrance Vinny went into when he went in further? Is the question.
He was invisible.
Yes, but he was talking to us. So it's
Last
all
time he declared was he said, "I'm going to walk around."
okay.
So after a certain amount of
How
time,
long would we wait to
I was
go?
envisioning like maybe going in and seeing like the first safe house.
Okay, well, so I thought you were using the duration of the spell. No.
It's good story.
If you're wanting to
I'm
make it
lost.
a lot less,
I think
comprehensive of an exploration, that's fine.
Vinny's curiosity would have gotten the better of him,
Okay.
and he probably would have kept going.
yeah, after a certain amount of time, I'm going to send Franklin in.
Okay. Just looking for Vinny.
Either looking for Vinny, but also knowing that he might still be invisible, and so kind of hoping that maybe Vinny sees Franklin.
Okay.
How long does he stay invisible for, Cyrus?
I'm not entirely certain.
Could I have a perception check from Cyrus as well as a intelligence check perception and intelligence from Franklin.
Both from okay,
Sorry.
okay.
It lasts for an
Perception.
hour.
Oh, I know. I was.
He
Low,
might cast it again.
Low for both.
low for both.
Franklin gets really turned around in here,
God dang
and
it.
there's no sign of Vinny.
Would Vinny maybe be able to make a perception to see if it would have to be passive perception to see if he sees just the.
No, but you said you're
If
actively
you know
listening,
that.
so
Okay.
make a perception check for me.
My
Jeremy.
passive perception is 10. Perception
Yeah, go ahead and
check.
make perception.
12.
You do hear off in the distance the pitter patter of little teeny tiny feet.
But you might just assume that it's a grain.
A grang.
Now, the
What-
question
what-
that I would have going in here is,
Gronk.
are there any more Gronks? Any more Gronk tracks?
Gronks, that was it.
You do see some Gronk tracks coming both out of the door that Vinny went into, and still coming down the stairs.
Okay.
But these are also again very faint.
Right.
Doesn't
Cyrus-
seem like they come here very often.
Did you find him?
My senses are in Franklin.
So I would hear the pitter patter of
Even
feet.
once he gets okay. How long would you leave your senses in Franklin?
I don't know. I guess long enough till I've realized that Franklin is turned around, and then I might come back for a bit.
Okay. Whenever he comes
So yeah,
back.
whenever that
Yeah.
happens, yeah.
And then if I don't know when that happened, but the pitter patter of feet, Vinny would have tried to go and investigate, knowing that he was
Okay.
and see what it would be. Or he would go in the direction of the sound.
Sure, make an intelligence check with advantage.
Intelligence check.
See if you can navigate your way to the sound in this maze-like interior.
Can you cast a D4 on yourself, too?
Doesn't matter. It's an
8.
8.
Takes some time, but around 15 minutes later, you and Franklin almost bump into each other. Him not seeing you, and you not seeing a teeny tiny lizard on the floor. You almost step on him, but you don't.
Oh, good. Thanks.
Oh, good. Does Franklin remember the way back?
Franklin.
He does not.
Franklin, I'm lost. I don't know if you can hear me, Cyrus, but I'm lost. And I need you to come. I don't know. Come find me. But it's very, very confusing. And so I do recommend taking some sort of. Well, if we only had a cartographer with us.
and I think this moment is probably also. I mean, Tyler, I guess you can determine what this is like timeline-wise, because I did say that after a little bit, Cyrus is going to pull his senses out of Franklin.
I think you probably would have pulled your sentences out before they found each other. Just so you
Right.
know.
And so then, Bells, what were you going to say to Cyrus?
I asked if you found him.
No. I mean, and did I see anything wandering around?
No?
No, it's just a lot of stone, tunnels.
He is still invisible, correct?
Sure, but I would. He knows Franklin. I would think he would. if he connected with Franklin.
Look, this might be a time for some fine Cloverton beans.
And Vern,
Nothing can ameliorate this situation quite like that.
Vern takes out a bag of beans. We leave one behind every 15 feet.
Yes! Yes! You're gonna Hansel and Gretel it.
So, are you moving within the structure, all of you?
Perhaps
Brilliant.
Cyrus,
Yes,
you
we
It's
can,
are.
actually genius.
perhaps Cyrus, you can reach in and figure out where Franklin is in relation to us as we go.
It all kind of looks the same, to be honest.
Hmm.
As you all enter the ziggurat, I'll need you to make intelligence checks for me.
Leaving
All of you.
Cloverton beans behind us.
I understand your intention.
11.
Our
What I like to do when I play
foolproof
Minecraft is
plan.
I leave my torches on the left side, so that when I'm coming out, I make sure they're on the right.
This is a cursed tunnel or
What do we
something.
got?
It is 11.
11?
11.
11?
11!
11? 11?
It's 11.
I mean, almost all of us rolled 8s trying to climb up the thing. We
But we got good history.
yeah.
That's true.
It's 10.
So as you guys are dropping beans behind you, there comes a point where you're kind of walking and you come to a kind of an intersection in the hallway, and Vern, you're dropping beans behind you and looking in front of you. There's a bean in front of you on the ground.
I would like to make a request. Namely, I would like to use my Outlander background in which I can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around me.
Sure, and you think you've done an excellent job of mapping this in your head.
It does say general layout,
We've
not...
entered an MC Escher puzzle.
Oh, man. Oh, beans.
We're gonna keep going, and then the beans are gonna be searing.
This can't be right.
Maybe
Look,
maybe
there's
Vinny had the same idea, and he's leaving beans too.
a...
Maybe these are Vinny's
Oh,
beans.
no.
No, what? Did Vinny even... Did Vinny have... Yeah, I guess Vinny did have beans. Perhaps now would be a good
Summertime.
opportunity to backtrack slightly.
Hang on, let me try something. I'm gonna put my senses back into Franklin to see
Okay.
if Franklin can find the beans.
So this weird kind of swaying vision that you get from Franklin, kind of like high up from the ground, as Franklin, you kind of look over his writing on Vinny's shoulder at this point.
Do I see beans?
You do not see any beans.
Okay. Then I'm gonna come back out of Franklin and say, well, Franklin found Vinny.
Or Vinny found Franklin.
Well,
Can you tell where they are or how to get to them?
I assume it just looked kind of the same as everything else around us.
It's the same as everything else in this.
Why is
What is this place?
There weren't any beans around, so we just have to take turns that we haven't taken yet, I guess. Keep laying down the beans.
Okay, hold this end of rope. I'm going to go back and gather the last few beans.
As you turn around, Vern, there's a solid wall behind you.
Oh,
Shoot!
Yeah.
I see. It is indeed a cursed tunnel.
Curse this tunnel!
What an absolute nightmare we have found ourselves in today.
No.
What do we do?
Oh, Bells, your guess is just as good as mine.
I mean, I suppose if we're...
Oh gods, how are we going to get out of this?
I mean, there's two options. We can stay still and hope that Vinny is coming to find us.
Cyrus, you said that he was walking with Franklin.
Yes, they
So-
did bump into each other. I guess.
They must be
Perhaps
close
they're-
then.
If they're walking, it would make the most sense for us to stay still, would it not?
Well, but I don't know. If we stay still, I mean, there's a solid wall behind us that wasn't there before. I mean, if we stay still, what's where do we go? You know what I mean?
Perhaps just sit at an intersection and wait until they find us. I mean, typically, when you're looking for lost people, it makes the most sense for one person to stay still and the other person to do nothing.
But typically in those situations, the topography isn't also changing around you.
How would that really affect it, though?
We don't know which direction they're really headed, and we don't know which direction we went.
So what you're saying is you want to continue walking?
I don't know. I am out of my element.
Well, we either continue or we don't.
Actually, I would like in this moment, Cyrus, could you light up this corner for a moment?
Sure. I'll cast light on one of the beans.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold the light beam up. I want to see
The light beam.
I want to see if the walls are shifting, but I want to look for indications that the walls had shifted mechanically versus magically. Are there marks on the wall where something would have been sliding into place?
Make an investigation check for me.
Okay.
I suppose we should also touch the wall to see if it's just an illusion.
That's a good point. My investigation is a 14.
14. Don't see any scuffs or signs of walls physically moving.
Is it solid when we touch it?
So as you touch it, solid wall.
It looks like it.
Illusory wall ahead. Liar ahead.
It looks like this has been here for 1,000 years.
As you all are kind of pondering the maze, including you, Vinny, you start to feel kind of this weary brain fog, as if you can't think as straight as you did.
Oh no.
It's the brain fogler.
Oh god.
Well, let's just keep walking on then, I guess.
Should we start yelling?
It may seem like a fool's errand, but tell you what, why don't we keep laying down the beans, and periodically I'll hop over into Franklin, and while I can't communicate directly with Vinny, if he comes across the beans at least, then maybe
Could you
Franklin could lead him back.
You could stay in Franklin and we can just guide you with us, perhaps, and you can just jump back when there's something to tell us.
Okay, yeah, that'll work too.
Could you perhaps lick his face or eyeball in a rhythmic manner that would be distinguishable?
Okay. So I'm going to put my senses back into Franklin, and I am going to lick Vinny in the rhythm of Rick.
Yes!
Rick.
No.
Vinny, you get the sense that Franklin's trying to communicate with you through song.
Through song.
Franklin is trying to communicate with you.
Through Hanson.
If you all want to make intelligence checks again with advantage this time, as you guys have a workable plan in action.
Just all of
us? Does that
us?
include me, since my senses are in one place and my body's in another?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to
guess
be
what it is.
Franklin navigating.
General intelligence. Come on, intelligence. Oh, yes.
Yeah, 15.
Okay.
16.
Another 11 for me.
11?
16.
16.
Hayden, come on.
Sorry.
Intelligence with advantage.
I'm getting it.
Oh, I didn't roll it.
It's not in my skills. It's my thing.
I rolled 2 nat 20s.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
I
you
just
did.
That means I
You know
burned
what the
both
odds of
for
that
this.
are?
I love you, Hayden.
Do you know what the odds of that
What are the odds?
14.
1 in 400.
14.
1 in 400 odds, Tyler. You better make it good,
Okay.
or I'm
Because
gonna
1 over 20 times 1 over 20
tip your car
is
over in the
1 over
driveway.
400.
So, as you guys are navigating, Venuthra, you eventually come across some beans on the ground, and the lizard next to you frantically starts to lead you on a path following the beans. You frantically follow. As the main party is kind of figuring out how to go, Vern, you've kind of gotten a system down that you kind of figured out. It seems like every other intersection kind of reverses on you and moves to a different sort of thing, and it seems to be, you're not sure if it's your mind or if things are actually physically moving, but it's become quite disorienting. But you found a pattern that you're sticking to, and it's showing some fruition. You're not coming across things that you've seen before as much. And eventually you all turn a corner and run smack dab into Vinny.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I am so sorry. I know what you're all thinking, and I do apologize. Bells, stop looking at me that way. I was trying to find a safe place and then I was just going to come back out and...
Vinny, these walls are moving.
Are they really? I didn't think I noticed. I just was so lost and had been... Well, to be honest, I was just so mad at myself that I didn't think I noticed that. I just couldn't find my way out. I'm so glad I found you.
Cyrus is going to pull himself back into his own body. That is the most disorienting feeling. Let me tell you, to come upon your own inert body while your senses are in a lizard and you don't expect it. It comes out of nowhere. Woo! I need a minute.
And as you guys are kind of taking a second to kind of take stock, you do realize that you've kind of come into a central circular chamber with 4 doors leading to hallways at cardinal directions with points of light at the end of each of them. And in the center is this kind of core pillar that goes from floor to ceiling.
And we haven't been here before.
Not that you can tell.
So we can just plainly see out
Yeah,
all
you can
4
just
directions.
see out all 4 directions.
This seems unfair. I'm gonna look at this pillar in the middle, though.
Okay.
What's going on with that core pillar in the middle?
Okay, what are you trying to do?
I want to know what the mystery pillar is.
Suspicious pillar?
Yeah, you drop a pillar in the room in the middle of the mystery tunnels.
It's called architecture, but roll an investigation.
You can't say it's called architecture when the walls appear out of nowhere.
Architecture, but this one part is not magical.
Architecture.
Make an investigation check for me, Vern.
But this one part that you care about is not magical.
Yeah.
The question is, how many 2 potatoes wide is it?
You said investigation.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. You kind of start patting the pillar
Don't you talk to me like I'm crazy for thinking there's something up with the pillar.
and kind of scratching, trying to pull stones loose or maybe push them. Nothing
Are there any markings on
that
the
you
pillar?
can see. Make a investigation check as well if you'd like.
What if the 5 of us surround the pillar?
An 18.
And as Cyrus is kind of planning, you just plainly see scuff marks on the ground where something opens up.
Okay.
There we go.
That's better than what my plan was going to be. My plan was basically just to group hug the pillar and see if anything happens.
At all 4 of the cardinal directions.
I don't know, see if the power of friendship affected the ziggurat in some way. I don't
You
know.
found an opening. Let's get back to that.
Yeah, let's go with that. That seems more solid.
Look here, there are some sort of scuff marks or something. Something's moving here.
My gods.
You kind of feel up along the side of what seems to be kind of a seam and find a small latch that unhooks when you do it. You can pull it open if you'd like.
I would just point it out. Look here, there's a latch here. It doesn't seem to be locked.
Opened up. Let's see what's in there. I frankly have not been a fan of these these tunnel mind games, and I would frankly like to have a word with whoever had something to do with the construction of these tunnels.
You really think we should open this?
We're here, we've come this far. We must continue.
Did we ever like see any skeletons in the tunnels?
You never even went in any of the rooms.
There were rooms?
Yeah, there were a ton of rooms off the adjoining hallways, but you guys stuck to the halls.
Well, yeah, we were also trying to
Find our
reunite
lost
the
friend.
party.
But we did get to the middle. I don't think I want to go back out there.
You don't want to loot every single room, Hayden?
No.
I mean, it would take.
Okay,
8
I
sessions.
open the latch.
Yeah.
There's a deck of many
Take
things
some
in each
age.
of
I
them.
do it.
Okay.
I open the thing.
You pull open the latch, and the large portion of the pillar swings free. It's kind of like a circular door, and inside there is a set of stairs that corkscrew both up and down.
And Tyler's mini falls out.
Let's go down.
But we're close to the top. Maybe we can at least see where the ones up go.
Maybe
we could-
we can leave this one to chance.
It
The coin,
Just-
Vinny.
Okay.
It never steered us wrong before.
Heads,
Never.
we go up. Tails, you know. Heads, we go up.
Let's go up.
Let's go up.
I thought that was the better decision anyways.
You start to circle around
Never
the.
steers us wrong.
Sometimes I just flip the coin to help inform myself which one I really wanted to do. But if I'm disappointed, I just do the other thing.
That's
Seems
very
reasonable.
sensible.
Sure.
You start to follow the stairs up. It's about 2 people wide.
Oh, 2 people.
Okay. It has the capacity for two humanoids to walk abreast.
How many potatoes wide is it?
More than one, Rachel.
What's the potato to people ratio?
It's like 14 potatoes long.
I think it's,
How many 2 potatoes is 1? 2 people.
I think it's 14 potatoes.
Yeah, I think your average person
I think
is
it's
going to
7
be.
tooth potatoes.
Yeah.
So
your
that
average
would
person
be
is
the
17
equivalent of
two
10
potatoes.
feet mechanically.
We're never getting out of here.
But eventually you do come to the top of the stairs and it just ends in stone.
It ends in stone. I'm going to put my hand on the stone and cast Minor Illusion and do a doorbell. Ding dong.
Ding dong. It echoes.
I'll turn to everyone else and I'll say, it worked at Top Little's tower.
And it did. Bells, do you think you can see any more scuff marks? I don't think that I have the eyes for it in this light. Here's the light beam, by the way.
White beam.
I'll assist your search. And I give you a
D4.
guidance.
What are you trying to investigate?
Yeah.
Can I make a case that handing the
It's
light beam
nothing.
over is a case for advantage?
It's
For
a case
help?
for not disadvantage for no dark vision.
But for help action.
No, but I'll allow you to have the help action.
Yes, I would like the help action and
Sure.
in handing
You-
the bean
okay.
over.
What does that do for my?
Advantage.
I'll roll again.
Mm-hmm. It's a little better. 15.
15. You kind of look at the stone that kind of comes up suddenly to the end of the stairs. Kind of look to the edges and see like faint slivers of light.
I see maybe some cracks with some light coming through.
I'm gonna just try to push it open.
Okay, make an athletics check for me
I will help you.
with advantage if he's helping.
Yes.
Okay. All right, everyone. Vinny, brace yourself.
That's what people say before they eat.
Yeah, before I die. I got a 17.
Okay, so you and it starts to give way. You start to pick up a giant stone slab that is above you, and then kind of throw it off to the side. As you see that this was kind of like an altar that you're coming out of.
Well
Okay.
done. Well done.
The tower.
So, do we have a clear path out, or is
Yeah,
it just
the
like
stairs
it's right
actually
here?
lead up to the edge of the kind of raised altar, and then there was a stone on top.
Oh,
almost like a
so we can
big
get
stone
out
table.
then.
Yeah, you guys can come out.
Free.
Okay, good. I was gonna do a thing, but I don't need to now.
And as you guys kind of come out and congregate, you kind of look at the slab and kind of the altar, and notice deep kind of brown crimson stains of what looks to be almost like the entire slab is stained of this color of blood, dried over long amounts of time.
The slab of the altar.
I don't like the look
And kind of
this.
dripping down the sides of the said altar. It's almost completely brown red.
That's pretty gross.
Can we tell what this is an altar to?
Make a religion check.
Lynn, what do you make of this altar?
Can I do a religion check on the altar to see?
Can I help her and give her advantage?
How are you helping her?
Looking at it and ruling out possibilities based on my knowledge of history.
Okay, so helping cancel out.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess if there's advantage, then let's roll again. And I rolled 2 3s, so that's 6. 2 6s.
Brutal.
Oh,
Think
man.
on it. You're like, probably an evil god.
Yeah, it's not going to be a nice... It's not my god. It's not... Bahamut would never. Could never.
While Cyrus is like, it's not a...
Well, I don't think it has anything to do
Cord?
with the, with the Drasber Regency period. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have anything to do with the Urengal agricultural revolution. Just entirely unhelpful things.
Obviously, this blue part is the land.
Buster Blue! Yes. But no, you can't, you don't know.
All right.
And Vinny is there, like, questioning, because she's like, wouldn't be my god. And I'm looking at her hair like,
What? Oh, yeah, the blood coming up. Yeah.
You do guys kind of take stock of this kind of almost just like little room on top of the tower, and there's looks to be like some sort of like work table in one corner, and then the only thing else is kind of some like stone crates in another corner.
Are there any vegetables in them?
There are no vegetables. You do.
Okay.
What is in that?
Not much. You see a lot of like dust and dirt and some egg fragments, it looks like. Of
I
eggshells.
found
In the crate.
I found one of these moments before those Gronks leapt at us.
how many
I hold up.
eggshells is it like covering? Is it like
It's a fair amount of eggshells. Yeah.
How many 2 potatoes of eggshells?
Lots of 2 potatoes.
Okay,
It looks like
so-
things hatched, and this is the
Hatched
remnants
and
of,
hatched.
of the hatching.
I'm gonna hold it up and just make sure it's the same kind of egg that I saw down below.
It is. It's kind of got this like faint, like kind of red orange tint to it.
Can
Is it a Gronk egg?
A Gronk egg.
What do they call it again?
Grunk.
Grunk.
Make a nature check with advantage, since you are familiar with grungs and rolled really well earlier.
Natural 20 plus 7.
You kind of look at it,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm getting a slightly tingly feeling from this, like the poisonous skin of a grung. This must be a grung egg.
This must be a grung egg.
just leave them around?
And not the kind you eat. And I'll toss it to the ground.
I suppose
Wait,
that
there's
this is a
kinds
fairly
of-
protected place to hatch your young.
One could say. Imagine.
Do they look like they've been recently hatched?
No, these look to be almost ancient.
Okay.
Never mind.
At one
A
time.
long time ago.
At one time, but can you imagine being in labor and you have to go through the cursed tunnels of the ziggurat in order to get to the place where you will lay your eggs?
Sounds like no yolk to me.
I actually don't get that one.
I'm going for a connection between joke and yoke. It's a bad pun. It's real bad. I'm sorry for that one.
It's pretty bad, John.
Yeah, Vinny
Cyrus,
takes -1 psychic damage. You know, 1 point of psychic damage.
That wasn't your best, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I need to workshop that one.
Little bit. But no, these are old. Is there anything else
Can we
up
go
here?
anywhere?
You can go down the stairs on 4 sides.
Oh. Is
Or
there
we could
anything
go
else?
down the center spiral staircase?
I think we should go down the spiral staircase and see what's there. But is there anything else up here? Is it just egg?
Not
and
that you can
bloodstains.
tell. Actually, what's everyone's passive perception as you're kind of looking out?
I hate that. 13.
13?
11.
11.
Okay. And what was yours?
15.
15. So everyone besides Vinny, I think, you do, as you're kind of looking over towards where the Titan Boa and this humanoid figure are clashing in petrified form. You do see that one of the cracks actually extends out towards the ziggurat, and the bottom half of that corner of the ziggurat, the back right corner, has actually crumbled down into chasm below.
Okay.
Noting that for later.
Let's try down.
What does it look like from up here? We have like the bird's eyest of bird's eye views right now. What is like, is the kingdom around us? Can we see where the Grung are? Can we like see their village or?
Do
You
we
don't
see
necessarily
anyone
see
interacting with the welcome toad?
a village, but
Did we set it down or did we bring it with us?
We brought it with us.
We never declared
We're holding it, bird.
we never declared a place to set it down. I'm gonna leave that up to you on whether or not we
No,
play.
my intention was absolutely to put it where it could be seen down the ground.
So the welcome toad is at the base of the ziggurat.
Absolutely.
Where it does us no good.
Well, in
And
case
does
they come
it-
up to the ziggurat, they'll know.
They'll know that someone made a happy toad.
Yeah,
That's right.
We're gonna get that welcome toad. We're taking it with us.
Okay.
you do see the colorful forms of Grung throughout most of the city. But however, there's about a 30-foot swath in every direction where they avoid the perimeter of the ziggurat. But there does seem to be a thriving Grung society here.
So we're just, here wandering around the thing that these creatures who have, been here for generations naturally avoid.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
I told you all the footprints lead away from the ziggurat.
Oh
Just
my.
wanted to be clear on that.
I'm sorry that your welcome toad doesn't look like it'll be seeing much action, but we can take it with us.
Well, that would be nice.
It shouldn't be hard to get.
I'll throw it into a group of.
Do you think that will convey the message that you wish to?
I'll dance. I'll do a little. I'll hold it in front of my face, and I'll make the arms do ups and downs, and
Maybe-
I'll twirl.
And I'll join in, and it'll be like the welcome toad and people
I'll do it naked.
dancing.
Maybe they'll
together.
take both of you prisoner.
Or maybe they'll decide that we're all friends, and they'll welcome us as one of them.
And while you dance, Elena and I can protect you.
Yes.
Well,
Well, naturally, yes.
if they poke me with a stick, I'm going to blast them.
Well, that seems like an escalation. Oh, you mean with a spear?
Right.
I thought you meant just if they were curious, you were going to annihilate them.
The last one just made a cute little sound and he annihilated
But
it.
that is true.
Do you remember? Does anyone remember? Oh no, you don't. Maybe. We were stunned.
Yes, that was quite horrible. Imagine what a group of them could do.
Exactly. Anyway.
Shall we go down the scary staircase?
Of
My
course.
decisions always be under the highest of scrutiny.
You made a welcome toad.
It was a great idea.
I'd like to see what any of you are doing to try and bridge the gap.
I drew a smiley face on
Saying
it.
we
You-
would help
thank you,
protect
Simon.
With
you.
this quill.
It is
Produce my
magnificent
quill.
Be frank, I made the welcome toad. It was your idea,
It
though.
was fun. We
It's a
enjoyed
good
it.
craft. We'll have to make more. It was
No,
a good time.
We should do more crafts together.
We should.
Anyway,
it
let's
was-
go down the spiral staircase and
Find the big scary thing.
Every time we make camp, it's just surrounded by welcome toads now. No one will come after
you
us.
make a welcome toad and you
They don't
make
know what
your
to make of
welcome
it.
toad.
They'll never come for us again.
Oh no. So you guys start to descend the staircase again, corkscrewing back down a fair amount of time before coming again to the open door that you discovered in the suspicious pillar.
It was suspicious.
I know. I wasn't making fun of you. I promise.
A little bit.
Looked at me and grinned when you
It's
said
true.
suspicious pillar.
Yeah, it's true.
But you continue downward. The stairs leading around and around, eventually leaving behind the well-manicured blocks of stone for raw carved stone. The stairs becoming no longer blocks, but raw carved stairs. Chamber eventually below you opens up. A sickly, luminous green light suffusing it.
Now would be a very
A-
good time to be quiet.
yes.
Seems like a natural cavern, roughly about 200 feet in diameter.
Hey everyone, let's just hold here for a moment. I could use a rest.
What time of day is it at this point?
Well, funny you should ask. As you kind of are looking around, you do see the back corner of the cavern has sunlight streaking through it
Oh.
as it breaks its way through the crack in the ziggurat's exterior.
Yes.
It looks to be probably like 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. I'm not sure. Sometime in the afternoon. It's hard to tell with kind of the jungle and the city. That obscures a lot of the sun's rays.
So we're gonna sit and take a beat.
Let's go back up the stairs just a little bit and sit and take a beat.
Another
I'm
pertinent
just a little
thing.
nervous about the green hue. there.
Another
yes.
pertinent thing, as you guys get a quick glimpse, is you do see in the center of the cavern, the room is a raised pool where the green light originates. It seems like some sort of green liquid.
Well,
It's Mountain Dew.
This is the homebrew
Baja
Mountain Dew gelatinous cube.
shall we wait? I know that Cyrus was living a little while ago.
I was. I'm gonna use a couple of hit dice.
I pull out a rye loaf from Merwin's.
Oh.
Okay.
No way.
It's crusty and moldy at this point, man.
Did it dry out or did it mold? It'll.
It's true.
It
We
got
got
crusty originally, and
did-
then the humidity of the jungle molded it.
I guess.
But if it's human,
It's
I'm
been
not gonna
some
argue
time.
with you about
It's
this.
been
It
wet
doesn't
bread.
matter.
If it molded, then I won't trust it and I'll throw it out.
Hmm.
I mean,
Well, I could
you
make
can,
it
you
for
can eat
you.
around
You
the
can
mold.
eat moldy bread. It's penicillin. It will heal you. That's not true.
Is
It will
that
make you sick.
is that a Lynn's advice?
No. This is-
I threw it.
I didn't develop a character voice, so you never know.
Your character voice is at least not that sarcastic.
Wait.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
more
pull out
honest.
the cheese bread from Merwin's.
Oh, it's
that was like 3.5 weeks of no
Burning
refrigeration.
hands, I can cook it. I can sterilize it. It's fine.
Look, if the two of you want to have the scuts going into whatever happens next, you certainly may. I, for one, will.
Pull out a honeydew melon
That's
Okay.
Frank.
and share it with my friends.
There
You
you
guys
go.
made me get rid of all my vegetables.
I have no regrets.
Okay.
If you'd like to take a short rest, you may, as you kind of go back up the staircase a bit and sit on some stairs.
I'll take a piece of the melon and kind of say, Vinny, have you ever seen this before? It's a trick I was taught once. And I'll take my torch and just torch it and kind of caramelize
Oh, nice.
the melon
Yeah,
and have him try that.
and it is on another level. It's like super, like almost like there is like this.
Like
kind of-
watching Lord of the Rings extended edition.
I don't get that. Besides the
Instead of the
Which is
original,
amazing.
oh,
you now
Yeah,
have the true melon.
it's the only one.
Melon.
It's the only melon, but that's another discussion. But it is nice and kind of almost like kind of crispy, sugary on the exterior, which is nice.
This is very good. This is. Thank you. Yes, I have had something like this before. I suppose I didn't really think to do it, but this is very good.
Oh, thank you.
Do it for everyone. Everyone, give Bells your. She's gonna caramelize your
I
honeydew.
would, yeah.
You
I would
cook
just-
the melon.
You don't cook it, you just sort of crisp the outside.
Char the melon.
Sure.
I'm actually gonna go do that at home now, and
If
we'll
it's
see what
See what,
happens.
see what it's like.
See what
Be a
happens.
good
I
experience.
don't know if this is a real one or not, so.
I don't know.
I'm gonna put it on a stick and I'm gonna cook it over a
Messing with
fire.
me, or are you gonna give
Oh, I have no idea.
So you have no idea if we're gonna. I'm gonna go try it.
I
and see
mean,
what happens.
throw some sugar on that and
Yeah.
caramelize it.
This is
Go
like
for it.
fantasy Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with answers.
In pictures.
Regardless, you guys munch down on
Tyler
some
said it was
honeydew. I did, and it's canonly
So,
great.
It's great,
Unbelievable.
whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
The proteins in the melons of Eltheris.
It just reacts.
Yeah.
You know,
It works.
Something
It works.
short rest complete though.
You guys are gonna see a shrivel weird melon.
Please send us fan art of this melon.
Also, can I have someone roll a
Weird
d20 for
melon.
me?
Yes.
Ooh, do it.
I got a nat 1.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Oh no!
Yes.
Gosh.
What does it say on that?
Unfortunate.
haunted pyramid. everywhere. Hatched eggs.
But we get a nat 1.
Eating
What does it
nasty
say?
melon and a
Oh,
weird glowing door that
That
goes
word.
downstairs.
It's a good melon. It's canonically a good melon.
The melon is the least of our concerns right now.
Yes.
So,
happens.
what would you guys like to do after your short rest?
Explore the Mountain Dew caverns.
We go downstairs into Baja Blast Tunnel.
It's green. It's not Baja Blast. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's like
it's like real
neon green that kind of suffuses this glow throughout the cavern.
Okay.
But as you guys do come down, you can kind of explore the cavern if you'd like.
Quietly.
Sure. Make stealth checks.
Let's do it.
I guide myself.
Mm.
So I guide
16.
someone else. I guide
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she needs it the most. She has disadvantage with stealth.
I do too.
So that just cancels out, right? No, it just
You
adds.
add a D4 to your
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
I rolled 2
Okay,
8.
what's the D4
Nice.
I have
I
a
just rolled a
filthy
D4.
20.
for me? Okay,
20?
so I got a 14.
Got
So that's
20.
13, and then plus D4.
Yes.
Oh, 4. 17.
All right, let's go right to left. We got
20.
non-natural 20,
16.
16,
17.
17,
25.
25,
8.
8. Nice. Okay,
Okay.
so you guys.
Yes, I'm also wearing medium
Chunky
armor.
armor.
Mm-hmm.
Medium
Yeah.
armor doesn't give you disadvantage, though, does it?
Yeah, it does.
It does?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Yes, it does.
I'm playing a character with medium armor right now.
Oh,
I have
man.
to double check.
That's a
Yes.
bummer.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take medium armor master. It gives me +1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other game.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up.
Wait, we're talking about other games?
No.
Let me tell you about my cat boy.
Oh no! No, I already told them about that for Eldritch
And their
Foundry.
sibling, boy cat.
That's the one we finished last night.
You know, I will take any opportunity to talk about my beautiful little cat boy. But let's move on.
So, what are you guys doing as you kind of descend into the cavern stealthily? Are you guys looking around? What is your attention?
Then you would
kind
go straight to the brightest shining center thing in the middle.
Okay,
And he would
cool.
run his fingers along the outside and
Okay.
try to assess what's going on, and see down into the liquid.
Okay. As you approach the pool, could I have you make a wisdom saving throw for me first?
Oh no.
No.
I would knock an arrow and I would just be kind of scanning the perimeter and the walls and the ceilings, kind of
Please.
ready to shoot something that
Where is my-
wants to get us.
I'm going to cast minor illusion around my hands to make it look like I know what I'm about to do, but I have no idea.
You kind of got like the Doctor Strange, like little things that don't really do anything but look cool.
19.
19?
Hey,
Okay. Walk up to the pool, and your hand along the liquid, and take.
No, the rim of the pool.
Okay. It's still close enough.
This flavor.
Okay.
Mountain Dew flavored.
You take 11 points of acid damage as it bubbles up onto your finger, as well as it's kind of coating the rim. And as you're doing that, all of you hear off in the distance, and you see falling from the top of the ziggurat crack, Phineas.
Oh, I bet. I hope
Falling.
he has
Wait, like in the far corner where there was a hole?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good. We were so quiet.
You hear him falling. And when he gets about 10 feet close to the ground, you see him snap, and a bunch of feathers fall out from him as he kind of drifts lazily down. Casting Featherfall.
Featherfall.
So
Yeah.
much for...
Oh my. I'm gonna throw up. Kind of takes stock of his situation.
just do a big sausage finger in front of my own mouth and say,
Hello!
Read the room, Phineas. We're using your inside voices here.
Vinny, as you're kind of looking at Phineas and you're surveying this area, you notice a disturbance in the pool. Ripples.
Oh,
As you're staring,
no.
a reptilian snout emerges from the sizzling acid, followed by a great snake head. Its eyes are vibrant, almost neon acid green. The scales of the beast as it rises are dark cobalt blue, and it raises its body out of the pool. You all glimpse great black wings.
It's the thing! We found it!
And it kind of looms over you all. You hear in your heads, visitors. Oh, interesting. Why come?
we'd like your teeth and heart, please.
Well, to be honest, we were sent on an errand. I do not see you as a foolish being or one to be trifled with. To be honest, we are in search of what is called a koala.
And have found a koala. And it just stares kind of with this piercing green eyes. You almost sense a bit of like kind of sarcastic play in the psychic wording.
Oh, great. Yeah, we've been looking for you all over.
Yes,
My name is Cyrus. Hi.
that is Cyrus.
I am its queen.
It's
It's okay. It's Queen.
it's clean. Am I saying that right? It's clean.
No.
It's all right. Forgive our friend here. We also have with us a Knight of the Ruby Throne, Alin.
Kind of tilts its head and leans in close to Alin.
Oh yeah, you'd like her. She's great.
I don't know what a ruby throne is.
Never mind.
I have questions for you, Coatl.
I may have answers, but I also have questions. And you see kind of a reptilian smile kind of curve around this snake-like visage.
Is he still just speaking?
Speaking in your minds.
Well, I can't speak in my mind, but have you killed innocent beings?
Do I get an answer if I answer?
Yes.
Have I killed innocent beings? That is a perspective. Are any beings innocent?
I think that means yes.
Or
He's being coy.
are we all sullied by moral ambiguity?
Yeah, he's being coy. He's killed innocent beings.
What's your question for me?
I'm curious about this ruby throne. What is it?
Well, seat of power.
For
Men.
small, yes, you are a man.
Yes.
Very well. I believe it is my turn to answer.
Yes. Well, we've obviously disturbed you in your habitat. And I don't specifically encourage the conversation moving toward killing or anything of the sort. We are curious about this place. It is a legend in our culture, and many thought that this city was lost. Can you tell us more about it?
Long ago, I came seeking answers about this city, as I am a procurer of knowledge, of information, of messages. I have learned a fair amount about Zisa, yes. What specifically would you like to know?
I would like to know, what was it before? And specifically, what is this tower that we see above us of a snake-like creature being obliterated by this large human-esque woman? Do you know anything about it?
It is a former pinnacle of civilization before the second destruction, second apocalypse, however you want to say. Dedicated to the god Zahir, where his children lived. The Yuan Ti, snake-like humanoids. Before the Ember Spike, however, destroyed all but the Dawn cities, Zahir came into conflict with Arathis, the Lawbearer. She sent a warrior from Mount Celestia who drove her sword deep into the maw of the Titan Boa. And with his last bit of strength, Zahir petrified them both to prevent the entire city from cascading into ruin before he departed from this plane.
So he helped preserve the city then.
Of course,
So it's Titan Boa. He was
a protector of the city.
what you might call a boa constructor.
Oh, no.
Just cocks his head at you, confused a bit. I believe it is my turn to ask questions.
Oh, sure, fire away.
If I were to seek great bits of knowledge within your society, realms. Where might I go?
Might I suggest Urangol?
Urangol, a dawn city.
Yeah, to the quintessence. I'm sure they can answer any questions that you've got.
Quintessence. I do not know this term.
Yeah, the quintessence pursuant. I can send them a memo. Let them know to be expecting you.
Very well.
And tell me, what is your, if I may, how do you acquiesce this knowledge? What is your method?
How do I gain knowledge?
Yes.
A fair amount of ways. Traveling to specific sites of lost knowledge, such as here. Traveling to places where people dedicate their lives to preserving history. Extracting it from those who keep it secret. Through charm or bribery or pain.
So you take it at all costs?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, knowledge at all costs. Yeah. You might get on with some of the folks at the quintessence, actually.
I will be amenable to exploring this place. I've never been to Urangol.
But before you go, what is the end for you? What brings you pleasure?
I believe it's my turn to ask a question. If that indeed is the game we're playing.
Wait, didn't...
It is? I spoke out of turn.
What talk of Zahir is there within the world?
I might defer that to someone of more religious understanding. Zahir, as I know, is not welcome within the Blackthorn ascendancy.
No. He's
And
not.
that is the realm of the Ruby Throne.
Yes, the Blackthorn Ascendancy.
Very well. You
What
had
I-
a question for me.
What I want to know is, what sort of being are you? What is your heart towards other creatures? How do you feel about the small and the weak and those around you?
The small and weak should gain strength as to not be crushed under heel. Or stealth in guise, that they may take down those stronger than themselves.
Would you ever harm a human?
Yes,
He did answer.
Yeah.
He said that.
Well, he didn't say it directly.
He said the pain.
Yeah.
Or any means
He
necessary.
doesn't seem one to pump the brakes where,
No.
general suffering is concerned.
But you wouldn't, for example, just try to eat a person.
no, of course not. I have no need for that type of sustenance.
Hmm.
And what sustenance sustains you then?
I need no sustenance as a celestial being. Though I do, kind of looks down at the pool, enjoy the rejuvenation of this pool.
Are there others like you
Like me?
here?
No. No one is like me.
Okay, to be clear, the pool is
Acid.
Mountain Dew colored acid.
Acid.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
that glows.
Okay. Just like Mountain Dew.
All right. Listen, I believe it's your turn. And Your turn to ask a question.
I believe I've slaked my curiosity.
Yes. And
May I ask one?
You may.
We know very little of your kind, as it doesn't seem there are many of you. But what we do know is that many seem to adhere to something of a strict and rigorous moral code. However, we've heard there might be something different about you.
As I say, none are like me.
Why is that?
He just looks down again at the pool. Looks back up at you.
What is that pool?
Power.
may I ask, would you be so kind as to share one of your feathers with us?
No.
Wow.
It's worth a shot.
What if we trade and I'll pluck the feather out of my hat?
No.
What about this one? I'll pull out my quill with a peacock feather.
I grow tired.
Right, well, let's do this.
If it's knowledge you're interested in, would you be willing to part with one of your feathers in exchange for knowledge?
What will you offer me?
Knowledge from one in a seat of power. Knowledge about the Blackthorn Ascendancy. Knowledge about the surrounding regions. What sort of men these are.
I believe you've answered all I desire.
I see.
Right, well, and
I have a question.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He kind of refocuses in on Phineas, who's been kind of like mapping out and kind of writing things down. Do you read? Many languages. Have you heard of Phineas Lone Song? Kind of leans over to him. No. Would you like a free book? Yes. Kind of reaches into his bag, says, "This is a draft version of my first book, but I keep it on hand, a few of them, from the first draft series, very limited edition, so be careful not to, acid it, but for you. Free of charge for being so hospitable while I write about everything here." And kind of nods its head off to the side for him to set the book down.
I think Vinny would lean over to Vern.
While this is happening, while they have...
Sure.
I
Yeah.
would do that, and I would say, I think we have to go ahead and, start fighting this thing.
Do you think we ought to back off until we have a plan?
Come back later?
Yes. Well, in 15 minutes.
Sure.
I don't know. We're all just... I can't think of any way that we would approach this differently, to be perfectly honest.
Oh.
I have no idea how to deal with this. Look at how large it is.
And it's about that point that it kind of swings its body back over the main party.
I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt at it.
And we will roll initiative next game.